All right. Let's see what these guys are going to do to each other. Should be a good game. You know, they play a style, both of them, which is going to make this probably a longer series. So Trigger plays the most defensive macro PvT out of any top player in the scene right now.
I wish my chat wasn't so fucking stupid. These idiots in the chat are so fucking dumb. They ask the dumbest questions. I can't believe I have to spend time with so many stupid fucking cuties. Fuck cuties. I wish I could spend my days admiring double pregnant Sonic or how huge Lyrak is. If anyone could send me fan art of Lyrak with pregnant Sonic, oh god, I'll PayPal you so much money. Please. Fan art.
Damn.
Lyrak with double pregnant Sonic. Please. My dying wish.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anyways, like I was saying, you know, Trigger plays a very defensive, macro-oriented style. He's very stats-esque. Vindicta actually plays a super defensive Terran style. Like, most of Vindicta's TVPs that I have casted and I have watched, he'll oftentimes sit back and kind of wait, and Protoss will eventually attack because Protoss will have an army that they have made for battling, and he hasn't attacked too much, so it won't scale super well. So it'll be like, okay, we should attack with this now before it gets shit, because it'll be like heavy on charge lots or something, right? And Vindicta will be in the sick arc and just destroy your army, then counterattack. A lot of his TVPs look like that. Now, when you put Trigger into the mix, he's someone that doesn't really attack very much. So, like, we might just get this gigantic, crazy macro game out of these two. So, double Reaper. Gonna try to run around here. Actually get caught there by Trigger's Adept, and he actually gets one. Oh, that's frustrating. That's frustrating. You lose one there? Come on. Well, the one Adept still being chased down a little bit here, putting a little bit of damage out there as well. Good movement here from Trigger. And by the way, Trigger is going for like a Phoenix Colossus opener. And yeah, I think one of the funny things about this, right? Like Phoenix Colossus, it is still a pretty good opener. Like it's regained some popularity recently for sure. And you know, it does some things very well. Like it blocks harassment well because of Phoenixes, and it makes your mid game really, really strong. But the truth about Phoenixes, they don't scale. Once you start getting really big armies, I'm talking like, let's say we're getting 160 army, 260 army, I mean 260, 160, 170 supply, right? The Phoenixes absolutely are going to evaporate at the beginning of the battle. They're really not going to do very much. Now, in the past, we have had some people who've gone crazy with it, gotten upgrades. Phoenix range, double Stargate Phoenix, you know, 12 Phoenixes, stuff like that. Okay. But then you have to have like 5, 6 Colossus in there as well. It gets really wonky, really weird. No one really plays like that anymore. In that case, they might scale a bit better. But in general, you know, if you're making... It's normally 5 Phoenixes, maybe 6 Phoenixes. Those are not going to scale into large supply games, which might give... Looking just strategically at what we're looking at here, well, just looking at the two players, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, right? If we look at the two players that are playing, I would say that this is not necessarily the best opener you could do against Vindicta, because I'm not fearful of Vindicta's drops. I'm fearful of his bigger macro games, right? If I'm a Protoss player, so we'll just see. We'll see how that goes down. But that's just kind of like some of my ideas about the way that this is likely to go, and we'll see if Vindicta stays back in that very defensive mode that I was talking about. Yeah, this chat has ruined the word double for sure. I went to Wendy's to absorb some food the other day, and they asked me at the drive-thru what I wanted, and I said, I'll take a Dave's double pregnant Sonic, please. And they were like, excuse me, sir, what did you just say? was like, Dave's double. Dave's double. All right, so Twilight on the way here. +1 already going. Thermal Lance already going. Phoenix is still rotating about, seeing what they can get done. Just 4 in here. Dude, those skins are actually a little bit deceiving. It felt like my eyes were flickering. I was like, wait, is there 5? Because they have that kind of second wing behind the first wing. You see that? It actually, like, the way they stacked on top of each other is like, wait, is there 5 there? What? I could have sworn there was 4 there. Oh, that's funny. So, right now, Vindicta is taken at 3rd. Dude, this game is lining up exactly how I was talking about. Now, there's a little tiny move out from Trigger. He's not going to actually attack with this, by the way. He's just roaming. Moves like this are, in general, good. But against Vindicta, you don't really need to do them. Yeah, loses a couple. Honestly, like, not overmaking the Phoenixes is very, very good for him. Oh, he is remaking one. Like, again, I don't mind it. I just think we're not going to really engage into 150, 160 supply where they're not going to be useful. 4th base is coming up, though. 2nd Robo. Charging +1. Dude, this game is going exactly how I said. This is so funny. These guys really are so stylistic. Honestly, when you know someone plays like this, you should probably take advantage of it in a tournament like this. And they should know, right? They have to play each other all the time, since they're 2 of the absolute best in NA. But I would like to see something like Trigger throw down an extra base, because Vindicta will sit there for a long time. So 2-1 coming up. 2nd Robo almost done here. A lot of defensive cannons being made as well. He does have that Archon. He always makes that Archon to go with his Colossus army. It's good to add one in. It tanks so much damage, man. Very good worker counts on both sides. I love those 2 little Zealots being left and then running by. Awesome to see. Now, the very first attack. Look at this. Vindicta at 160 as he attacks, as predicted. Waits. You see, we weren't going to see an engagement till this point, but I think what you're going to see here is the Phoenixes aren't going to be able to do anything. Notice how he is just killing this Nexus. He has outscaled a lot of what he's fighting against. And it's, you know, like, Trigger will be okay. It's not the end of the world that he lost that Nexus. His army is still getting better. He's trying a little bit of counterattacks here. Honestly, this little group of Zealots going right up the middle, I guess it slows down a reinforcement. Oh, he ends up getting that tank? No, it got picked up. Nice hot pickup. Yeah, it comes up here. Kind of a scary army right now. You know, both sides have things that are scary about them. I love 4 Siege Shanks being in an army like this. 5 Siege Shanks even being in an army like this right now. They actually add so much. And what beautiful positioning by Vindicta. It comes forward. Those Cyclones super don't matter, so that was actually really nice putting them in front. And look at this, backing up. Okay, well, he loses 1 tank there and a couple Marines to that Disruptor Ball. But Vindicta's doing, like, a beautiful, beautiful job. Look at this. What a nice, nice push. I'm loving it. Like, just very solid macro, kind of moves out at a nice time, and look at the amount of damage he's doing, man. He's about to kill a 2nd base this game. Backs up. There is a flank of Zealots in there, but he pretty much deals with them. Now, the 3 Immortals being added in adds so much power to this army. Dude, Trigger was barely off. He was like 5 Zealots off of wrecking this. and he should still be able to clear it. But when you start getting lower on supplies like this, what we're going to see now, and what we always see in these types of situations, we should see nothing but disruptors made for a few minutes, and just stalkers Zealot, right? So when you trade armies like this, Terran armies get back to power much, much quicker. The Protoss army, it has to be a little sledgehammery. You can't just be like, and now I have 3 Colossus again, and some Archons, and a couple High Templars, right? Like, you work a long time to get that nice unit composition. And then you lose it in a battle like this, and then you're on Zealot Stalker Disruptor for a fair amount of time. So, I always feel like, if you play it right, Terran should be a little bit favored in positions like that. Everything else being equal, right? Because the Marines, Marauders, Medevacs that they're making just are instantly like at the same power they were at before. Whereas the overall Terran composition was, you know, critical. Yeah, it's... Protoss is more like mech in StarCraft 1 TVP in this matchup. Where, like, you need the right units. Not that you can't battle with these units, you absolutely can. But it's like, if Terran plays it just right, it's like, look at that army. That army can't really attack in right now. It's very difficult to do. So Trigger making another Nexus. You know, he's been beaten up a little bit, but the supply's very even. Worker count very even. Everything really even. Look at that, man. Even the upgrades and everything. Ooh, love to see this. So he is getting range here for Liberators. I think Liberators are just an amazing later game tool. They're probably going to be patched a little bit on the next patch. But as of right now, if you can get that +2 air weapons, they are going to 2-shot Stalkers, which makes a gigantic difference. So, Liberator range and +2 air attacks is like killer in this matchup. Starts at +2 air attack. It's going to be a little bit, but it'll be awesome when it gets there. Liberator harassing these probes a bit. Gets 4. Pretty decent. Looks like Trigger will be able to clear this out without too much trouble. Vindicta has pulled back pretty heavily. I really like the amount of Liberators he's making. Leaves a group on the side there. Looks like he's going to stim down against that new base. Ooh, I'd love to see what's happening over there right now. Oh, the second Disruptor doing a very good job. And there it is. Oh, he does have a little bit of Stalkers here, but that is more than enough to push back those Stalkers. Another warp in here of Zealots should force him to lift and get out. Very nice pull away. Rapid reignition systems. Holy crap, we never see that. That's wild. So that's like a medevac boost upgrade. That makes medevacs like boost quicker, right? Kind of crazy. They're thinking about taking that out in the next patch, if I recall correctly. We literally never see that upgrade though. It's been like 3 or 4 years since I've casted a game with it. We saw it in GSL this one time. I was like, what the hell? I can't even remember the game very well at this point, but it should be cool to see when he has it. All right, backing up here. That +2 air attack is almost done. So the Liberator's just going to gain more and more power. I love that he's making 4 at a time. Super strong. Nice little stimmed group here. Might be able to mess up this Nexus. Look at this. He's going to get a lot of probes. There's a warp in. Oh my god, he gets rid of that nylon. So painful. That was a very good little drop. Looks like there are units up here kind of waiting, but he actually does get the unload. So those 4 Stalkers not going to fare very well. And redrops here at the newly retaken 4th base. Wait, rapid reignition systems, right? It's like a longer boost? And I believe the... Wait, it's either a longer boost or a quicker cooldown. I actually have to look it up. Hold on. Wikipedia. StarCraft 2. Rapid read. Yeah, I'll just type in medvac. boost increases speed boost that increases medevac's movement speed and acceleration for. Oh wait, no, that's the normal thing. Rapid reignition systems. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Sorry, we have a little attack in there. He does kill a Nexus and run out. Reduces the cooldown from 14 seconds to 9 seconds, and the base movement. It did look like they were moving faster. 3.5 to 4.13. Yeah, the boost itself is not faster. The cooldown is faster, and the medevac itself moves faster. Oh, that's an interesting upgrade. It's weird we don't see it more in some of these later games. Huh. But really, we see that upgrade so not often. Like I said, I haven't casted that upgrade in years. So now that's why I had to look it up. All right, Vindicta is doing really well, man. Look at his core of bases as well. He's like defending them so nicely. Trigger is still just trying to kind of clear things up. Trigger does have a slightly bigger bank, but they're both maxed. Like, that bank doesn't make that much of a difference right now. Anything can shift really quickly over the course of one battle. Yeah, looks like the DT is going to get cleared there pretty easily. A couple of disruptors come out. Very nice disruptors. Oh my god! That planetary just had its way with those disruptors. Very, very nice disruptor hits. My god! Vindicta eating a couple really big ones. In the meantime, a drop in the main base killing all the probes here at that third. Kind of insane. Like, this game is getting so hectic that I think a lot of things are kind of getting sloppy on both sides. Yeah, these Liberators are starting to get very, very nasty indeed. I like this one Colossus to harass. That's really cool. Ooh, does get taken down pretty quickly there, though. Disruptor Ball's having a hard time getting connections this time. He's bleeding off a few units. Staying pretty even, though, as far as supply goes. Nice denial here of this new command center for Vindicta. You don't want him getting a 6th base, that is for sure. There is 7 bases right now for Trigger, but he's the one that's been taking all the damage this game as well. Ooh! Good split of disruptors. Oh my god, some huge, huge, huge disruptor hits here. Not very much left over at this planetary, but there is a counterattack by Vindicta in that top right. Yeah, it looks like he will clear another command center here as well. Trigger pushing across the map, doing a very, very good job at the moment. There's not a lot of mining going on for Vindicta right now, unfortunately. Trigger is doing a bit better as far as that mining is going. And you can see everything kind of falling apart. It's wild, isn't it? Like, it did feel like Vindicta was kind of outplaying Trigger for a little bit in there. Then he made the mistake of getting the Ignite Afterburners, or whatever it's called. Rapid Reignition System for the Ignite Afterburners. Yeah. Anyways, it feels like Vindicta is going to end up losing this. Just Trigger getting those bottom nexuses and still having the right. That base at like 3 o'clock. Whereas Vindicta is like barely mining minerals right now. He does land a command center up at like, what is this, 11:45 or something. Oh, that's a spread. Don't want to go near that. Oh god, he unsieges. Okay, well, I think that's going to be a rough one. Okay, actually dodges that reasonably well. It's a lot of charges. I feel like I would turn and fight here as Trigger. Production tab. 2 Colossi. Million things. Liberator's flying around on shift-click commands to go harass. It's fun. Uh-oh. Not looking super hot here. Oh, actually, the Disruptor shot doesn't hit the landed Vikings. Adding some damage on the side there. Picking off a few of those Zealots. Does go up here to clean, but not a lot of SCVs left. Vindicta only on 13 workers now. Of course, mules do make a difference at this point in the game as well. GG. Trigger will take down that game 1. An excellent game, though. Big, big, big macro game. Disruptors can be pretty good. No question there. All right, guys. Onwards. It's going to be game number 2 between Trigger and Vindicta. Here we go. All right. So, Trigger in the bottom left. Top right, we have Vindicta on Ancient Cistern. And let's see if anyone switches up the way they want to play. It did feel like Vindicta took the advantage for a while there. Got a Nexus right away. Almost got a second one. Some very good back and forths. And, yeah, Trigger just kind of over time, though, did end up grinding down, making a lot of Nexuses, making a lot of Disruptors. Yeah, these two definitely play kind of a similar style, though, of kind of sitting defensively and waiting, which makes it an interesting matchup between them. Normally, when you get 2 players that do that, whoever turns on more greed is going to outdo the other one. I wouldn't say that Trigger wiped Vindicta. I would say that was a good game. That was a good game. Trigger won, and in the end it looked one-sided, but like it really wasn't for most of the game. That's a funny thing about StarCraft as well, and I think actually something especially can look this way in like StarCraft 2. If you like, people know when the game is turned against them very badly, but they'll stay in the game because there is comeback potential. But in StarCraft 2, like when you start to actually get ahead at the end, it starts to get way the fuck out of control really, really quickly. And it'll look like it's this insane one-sided roll where really, like, the opponent could have said GG a few minutes ago and it would have looked super close. You'd be like, why do you leave? It's like, well, he knew that was going to happen, right? All right. Well, we have the Twilight coming up. You'd imagine this is going to be Blink Robo. Like, that is the build. Trigger's very good at it. He likes 2-gate Blink Robo. I mean, I feel like we cast Trigger so often because he is one of my favorite players to watch right now. But yeah, we cast him so often. I've talked about this a lot, where he's probably the chief guy as far as 2-gate Blink Robo goes into a very fast third Nexus. It's a good, solid defensive play. Not as popular with other players, although I feel like it has come back a little bit more lately. It's never been as popular as the 3-gate variant, though. But we'll see if he goes for that, right? Like, we don't know for sure. Okay, nice citizen's arrest. He does have that 2nd gate making, no 3rd gate as of yet. I think we'll see the robo go down. Yeah, there it is. So, you know, Trigger shows us he's going to stay with his tried and true builds. Do I listen to and read short stories? No, not really. Occasionally, but I like long books for the most part. The only short story writer I like is Author Valentine. Not everything he writes is a short story, but yeah. C.A. Valentine, you look him up. Anyways. The blink coming pretty quickly. He should be thrown down the Nexus relatively soon. He is just kind of sweeping the map a little bit. Want to push everything back here, get that Nexus down cleanly. One Adept getting caught. Does get a kill there on its way out. Where that probe at? So it's time, man. Look at his mineral count. I think these few units on the map has maybe thrown him off slightly. Oh, look at this. Templar Archives. Didn't expect that right now. That's actually very fascinating. Wow. Okay. So, guys, you already have a robo. So, very, very oftentimes with builds like this, you will not go for a Templar Archives that quickly. Now, there's a few things you could do with this. I mean, you could just do like a Charge Archon. Probably not going to be that, though, right? This is probably going to be more Trap-esque, I would imagine, with very fast Psystorm. Yeah, there it is. Not a lot of people are into fast Templar Archives nowadays, right? And it's been that way for quite some time. In fact, Trap should be out of the military pretty soon, but one of his favorite styles that he was utilizing, right, when Trap was the #1 Protoss in the world, is he would get the fast storm because everyone was going Robotech, right, between Disruptor and Colossus. Like, you have a Warp Prism and Immortals, like, in Observers, like, the Robotech is tried and true, right? It's really, really good. But one thing that Trap did was he would start getting quick Psystorm and then just kind of walk up to your 3rd, and no one has even started their Ghost Academy at that point, so the Psystorms just reign supreme. So we might actually see that out of Trigger here. Like, he's making the Prism, he's adding 5 gates, right? He's getting the Psystorm. Yeah, I mean, he might just throw some High Templars. Ooh, he might just feedback that too. It's too juicy, right? But yeah, he might just be able to kind of walk across the map and get you because of that. Not entirely sure if Vindicta has seen it or not seen it. I think he has not seen that this is Templar Archives. That's my gut feeling because we don't see the Ghost Academy. If you see the Templar Archives, there's like really no reason not to get the Ghost Academy. Yeah, it looks like he lost about the A team there. One of everything. Trigger is going across the map right now, but with a very small force. A small group of Stalkers. This may just be to whittle things down to slow down an incoming push. Yeah, looks like that is the case. Of course, you can just, like, go into the main base as well if they start coming out, like a little bit of a pinning move. Good targeting there. Gets 4 probes, despite the Zealots being in the way. Trigger blinking away. Yeah, some pretty good micro. Double medevac is headed towards that main base. Not sure exactly what's there. Now, that's a move. That's a good move right there, man. Drop the auto turret on top of those High Templars that are waiting for the feedback. Excellently done. I'm watching High Templars try to kill a Marauder with their auto attack. Not really working out for them all that well. Vindicta comes up. Has kind of an interesting position outside the 3rd. Doesn't feel to me like he actually has enough to really kill any major buildings, right? Like, I don't think he's going to get a Nexus. He's getting that Ghost Academy now, just finished up. He's definitely going to want to add some Ghosts in. So Vindicta now setting up this third base. Doesn't seem like Trigger was able to do any of the things I was kind of describing, some of these walking up attacks before Ghosts. None of those really occurred. There was some reasonable pressure put on here from Vindicta. Some pretty good auto turrets. You know, the medevac's trying to pressure in as well. Oh, we just want to be together. Yeah, this medevac. Oh! Blink not quite far enough there, unfortunately. Corpse in a single Zealot to try to help deal with this. Yeah, I mean, he will be able to deal with that. It's not the biggest deal in the whole world, but a little bit of damage being put on. A few charge lots here being annoying. But again, nothing more than that. Oh. Well, you know, I mean, those didn't get as much as they could have, it felt like, but not bad. I like some of this harassment Vindicta's been doing. He does have a little bit of a supply advantage. I don't, again, know if he's able to really get in here and kill too much. He is doing some good harassment, though, still with those auto turrets. The auto turrets have been king. Zealot harassment on the other side doing maybe more than the auto turrets did the whole game. Yeah, nice EMP goes down, gets rid of the shield battery energy there as well. No energy for an overcharge as of yet. Plants down some of those mines. Oh, God. Mine actually hits the wrong location there. Does end up sniping that that Clawseye, though. And finally, the Raven will be taken out. That was an F2, by the way, for anyone wondering. That was an all-army hotkey, why that left and went out there. That's actually the first thing I removed in StarCraft 2, because there's customizable keyboard. I just unbound that. I was like, this is for newbies. And now I watch people that literally win GSLs use the fucking all-army hotkey and lose units. LOL. Alright, big drop here in the main base. Trigger actually having a very hard time defending against this. Getting rid of that upgrade, obviously very, very nice. EMP down on those warping in Zealots. Trying to unpower some of these gateways. Wow. The storms are serious right there. Holy crap. Okay, Trigger is actually cleaning this really, really well. Another big attack comes in. It's very marine heavy, so Psystorm's obviously going to be a big factor here, but an EMP goes down. No more Psystorms on that side, at least. So this game has been super, super action-packed, right? It's been kind of all over the place for a while. Vindicta's been harassing a lot more than the previous games, and I feel like he's gotten more done than a lot of the previous games. But it feels like it's actually about to stabilize into like a position here where like they're gonna build out a bit more, right? Like I think we're actually gonna max this game. It felt like we were gonna fight at like 130 to 160 the entire game, but it feels like it's slowing, right? It feels like Trigger kind of has a hold on everything, but maybe doesn't have an army that really wants to attack across the map. Like that army he's walking across the map with, I think that's an army that can threaten a counterattack if a big army shows up elsewhere, but I don't think that's even the greatest move, honestly. Like, I think it's better for roaming. Pull it back, get back in your kind of defensive position. And yeah, he is headed towards max. He is pulling back. Vindicta right now as well, just kind of continuing to macro, sending his 4th command center down. Would F2 break Brood War? Yes, completely. Oh, Dark Shrine being added in. That's a good way to tell that you're getting into a slower game. right? Because notice how they're not attacking anymore, right? They're just kind of going towards those max supplies and everything. It's funny because you get games like this where the aggression kind of dies out and you're like, yeah, this has to sit for a minute because it's the right play for both sides, which is not oftentimes the case, but definitely does occur where it's like, yeah, no one can really attack. But yeah, that's one of those endgame techs where you're like, okay, I would like DTs with Blink, actually. I would like that for maybe sniping command centers later on as my bank crows, right? So definitely that is one of the signs that you can see that this is truly slowed down. That plus nothing happening for a while. Ton more gates being added in by Trigger as his bank has gone up. Love to see that. Ooh, this High Templar coming over. Those units just kind of eat the storms. Oh my god. This three-way flank. Is your flank... I hope your flank is protected, types Vindicta, as he kills the whole army while it's trying to be recalled. Holy crap, his flank was absolutely not protected. Zealot counterattack up here is being a little bit annoying. And in fact, he will bring his army back to deal with it. Vindicta moving down the map. You know, still a pretty reasonable army. Do notice, by the way, that recall it did get out one very low health Colossi. But you can see it is that same type of position we were talking about before, where we're sitting here on Zealot Stalker, and you just have disruptors being made. So, you know, he's got this kind of mobile, quickly replaced army coming up to fight. Oh my god, the amount of charge lots he has is kind of insane here. Another group comes down from that high ground. Look at this! What? Well, I guess that's what happens when you add 5-6 gates as the game's getting later. What a great gateway add. Without that little group of Zealots, like, this attack could have continued. It could have. But Trigger added so many gateways that he insta'd his bank to 0. That was good stuff right there. Those gates that we saw him adding before, guys, made the difference. Huge warp-in rounds right now for Trigger. But again, not quite the same high-quality army he had before. The more Vindicta kind of builds into the quality of his army, we're talking things like Liberators and Ghosts being added in higher and higher numbers, he will kind of outscale this more mobile army. But of course, as that starts to happen, you can get back into some of these other units, you know, adding some High Templars in there, making sure you have a Prism on the side. You know, maybe even Colossi again. Maybe. I don't think you necessarily have to make Colossi throughout the game. But if you're planning on roaming around with like one army, it can be obviously very, very good. A little stim attack in at the lefternmost base. Looks like we have plenty of units here to reject that. Doesn't quite get the kill on that medevac. Nice target there on that very, very hurt medevac. Archon coming in. That's really going to help to clean this up ASAP. Another drop in this bottom right. Dude, I tell you, Vindicta is putting out some really, really nice games. Not that Trigger is not. Like, he's taking the defensive stance here in this game, and he must, truly, based on how Vindicta is playing this. But yeah, I feel like Vindicta is doing a really good job with the aggression, with the multitasking. I love the Liberator ads that we've been seeing. He does only have +1 ship weapons. Definitely want to see him start +2. It's like really, really good at 2-shot stalkers. Yeah, he has that +3 armor on the way for his bio as well. By the way, it's +3 armor for Protoss, but only +2 attack, so he is missing that one upgrade. Nice Liberator setup there, being very, very annoying. Will not quite be able to get it. Wow, that is a lot of disruptors. That looks so funny. That looks so funny. It's actually going to change the way that that looks in a new patch coming up. I reviewed the patch on my YouTube if people want to check it out. I'm sure a lot of you already saw it. But yeah, a lot of disruptors here, just kind of zoning everything out. Clears out that Liberator. Gonna back out. A very good roaming army at this point for Trigger. Can be a little bit harder for an actual attack into a defended location. +2 air attacks and 4 Liberators on the way here for Vindicta. Now it's kind of restabilizing, right? Like it stabilized up to 200. We had some action. Now it's slowed again. We're kind of getting them refilling their armies with what they actually want. More so for Terran than for Protoss. But probably more important right now because this very fast-moving army that we have for Trigger has so much damage output available with those disruptors. Uh-oh, getting a little bit of lag right there for a second. Okay. Looks like it goes away. Good try there on the Liberator. A lot of disruptor hits coming out, but not really connecting how he wanted there. And a huge flank as well. Does the recall on these disruptors, and he will get 2 or 3 out. But most of his army does end up falling. Trigger's supply just plummeting down. Definitely an opportunity here for Vindicta to kill 2 Nexuses. Like, if he doesn't kill 2 Nexuses off of that, then that's a huge mistake. Okay, here's 1. There's 2. Awesome, awesome. You see Trigger right now, he's kind of centralizing his units a little bit. He's got like 3 groups. 2 of them are joining towards the bottom right because he wants to protect that next location. The other is doing a little bit of a counter pressure. And look at that, zoning out the units that are behind him. Vindicta picking off a lot of these disruptors. Really doing a fantastic job of it. Good. Oh my god. Very good feedbacks and Psystorms over there. Looks like Vindicta getting whittled down on this army slightly. Oh, the flank, though. The flank is real. Marauders against Stalkers. Ouch. You really need some support with that, even if it's just Zealots. And you can see, once again, Trigger's army is reset. Now, he's actually got a really reasonable bank that we're looking at right now. But whenever this happens, right, whenever your supply kind of gets zeroed out as Protoss, it's Zealot, Stalker, Disruptor being made. And if your opponent is keeping a high-quality army, still making Liberators and everything, it's hard. It's hard to clear that. Liberators seem to be absolutely everywhere right now, just ravaging those probe counts. Yeah, this Zot Brass not going to do anything. Full surround right there, my god. Is he going to be able to repair it at all? It doesn't look that way. Yeah, it does get picked off there. Very, very painful. He will end up killing all these Zealots. Well, at least there's that. Vindicta with a considerably larger army at the moment. The bank really drying up a little bit here for Trigger. Ooh, good pickoffs there onto those disruptors. Yeah, Liberator with its anti-air attack, not even scratching the surface there. All these Siege Liberators, though, doing an absolutely fantastic job. Pulls back underneath them for a moment. You notice the Colossi pulled out by Trigger. He does not want any part of that right now. Now, the Zealots on the bottom getting cleared out as well. Liberators leapfrogging forward. Beautiful play there from Vindicta. In the meantime, look at that. The DTs come to rescue the day, getting rid of one of these expansions at least. Right, another attack here from Vindicta, but yeah, maybe a little bit over the top there. I could see Vindicta thinking right now, like, his army shouldn't be that big, but actually, it's still pretty reasonable because he did have a pretty steep bank at that point. That's an excellent EMP. Oh, he doesn't quite get the Observer, though. All right, counterattack coming up here from Trigger. I guess I shouldn't call it really a counterattack. Just an attack. Zealots coming in, flanking the side, expecting the army to move over to meet his Stalkers. Good idea, but that's not where they went, so that will get cleaned up pretty easily. Okay, so where are we at in this game? This is such a crazy game. Oh, DT's coming in for a flank. That is so funny. Holy crap. He actually kills his own DT with the Disruptor. Man, and Vindicta right now coming in a huge arc, getting so many of these high-quality units. A lot of Robo units being picked off here. Oh, DT Blink, actually, he did not even have it yet. Those DTs had all walked up there to kill those SCVs. A lot of Zealots here getting picked off. All the support units basically gone at this point. Vindicta is just keeping such a better, high-quality army throughout this. Trigger just keeps falling down into, like, the depths of just Zealot, Stalker, Disruptor. Hasn't really been able to make a higher quality army. Now, that being said, let's see how many bases. I guess he has 2 bases mining well and then 1 that's almost dry. Vindicta here, he has, like, 2.5 mining bases, I think. I think that 12 o'clock base is getting pretty sparse. But top left and that one below 12 o'clock, it's like 12 o'clock with the hour hand. That base is very good right now. So Vindicta definitely has a bit better economy. All right, looks like right now Trigger going to try to get in there and mix it up once again. Super heavy Zealot Stalker army, just trying to zone out everything with the Disruptors so he can get up here and kill a base. This is a really important base for Vindicta. It's one of his highly mining bases. Brings in his army here. Oh my god, is Trigger just going to be able to break it? Is he going to break it? Yeah, it looks like he is. So many Zealots just flowing in right now. I tell you, Vindicta put out like a really beautiful game here. But that moment right there, it's now in Trigger's favor, right? Getting rid of top left, like he killed a ton of SCVs up there. SCV count not that high for Trigger. Trigger basically has 2 bases of SCVs right now. Okay, obviously he has mules as well. That helps. But that was painful. That was painful. He lost a lot of his high-quality units in there as well. A lot of Marines being made. That's kind of funny because a Colossus is being added in right now as we speak. Good pick off. Liberator just hovering there over a group of probes does get cleared. Another attack is coming in from Trigger right now at that 12 o'clock hour hand base. Backs up as the army meets him. Right now, looks like we are trying for a Nexus right now. He's going to get the Nexus, but what is the cost actually going to be? Not actually that much. He gets away with basically everything here. He will lose his own command center, so that is a bit of a problem. And maybe that army gets stuck. I don't think it actually will. I think he just waits a moment and Trigger will move out of here and he can escape. But we'll see about that as well. Yeah, there it is. Gets out. Are these guys pro gamers? Yes, yes, they are. Vindicta and Trigger are I would call them lower level pro gamers, but yeah, pro gamers. All right, so Vindicta's world has shrunk a little bit here, right? Trigger, though, he has, yeah, no, he has good mining at 2 bases. And for Vindicta, he has good mining at 1 and just sparse stuff elsewhere. So it's looking pretty tough right now. Very similar army supplies as Trigger walks up here. A lot of Stalkers, a couple Colossi in here as well. Yeah, looks like Vindicta right now fighting his heart out here. An almost 30-minute game so far. He played beautifully throughout it. Trigger might just be a little bit too strong for him right now. GG. Excellent games. Excellent series. That series was like 50 minutes.